One, two. Body
And
roll
one.
it, body roll it, body roll it.
This is Nikki's. Nikki, stay doing this.
Nikki has been being very savage on tour.
I love it. It's
No,
so
I live. I'm
funny.
living.
Did you see
I'm
her
living.
dodge that
I
thing?
love that Big Sean came out. I love that Big Sean came out for ass.
I love watching her just snatch the mic out of people's hands because she's so
Her
funny.
faces, her facial expressions, they do it for me.
She's like in full auntie mode.
No, dead ass. All
Man.
right, T. Highlights of the oh wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Hey everybody. Welcome back to Our Company Time. I'm Nesha.
And I am Karisma, and welcome back to our podcast. We're what? We're two worker.
Two coworkers became besties. I'm
And
helping
now
y'all,
we do
girl.
this. Thank you, Niche.
And yeah, now
God.
this is what we do. Now this is what we
And
do for work.
now it's our
Which
company's
is kind of
time.
cool to think about.
That is so cool.
We're
I
so
love it
cool.
for us. Yes. So, Niche, highlights
Winning.
of the week.
Am I first? Are you first? Who wants to get into it?
Okay, I'll go first. I'm like, ooh, I'll go first.
Yeah.
Um,
Me, teacher me.
my highlight of the week is Beyonce saying, and this is for everybody who said that black girls can't grow hair. That's some
That's some
bullshit.
bullshit. That's some
But that
bullshit.
ain't got nothing to do with me. She's so
That ain't got nothing to do
cute,
with me and my
Nisha.
hair. I like to
And
blow
my
dry my
hair,
hair on medium heat. Like the number of times I watch that is embarrassing.
I'm like, at this point,
And it was the fact that she was giving transitions. I'm like, okay, oh, so you a TikToker now? Okay,
oh, so she's an
cute.
influencer. The
Mm-hmm.
influencer.
No, for real.
Say, she that was
I
the
was living for
cutest
every minute
highlight.
of that. More,
Gosh,
please. I'm like I just,
more.
what my favorite thing to do is to go to the comments and just look at people who are like, she's talking to us. Like,
She's
she's
talking
actually
to
talking
us.
to us.
Whoa,
She will
whoa.
only visit in person out of the country because I guess we're too ghetto. Like we skip school too much.
We don't know how to act. We do not know how
We
to
skip
act.
school too much to come see her. We just don't know how to act. We don't have no home training, and she don't meet and greet with us no more.
Okay. And so
It's very
now
sad.
she's posting videos or just posts of these photos
Right.
where she's like in these big rigs, these like big trucks, and I'm just like,
And now I have to be jealous of the people of Tokyo. Like now now I get to be jealous because that's not fair.
gosh.
Why don't we get
But
that?
because we don't know how to act and we don't
Because we're not at.
like
We on
and because
punishment
our
still.
our truck drivers do not have trucks as nearly as cunty as them. You see them.
Man, and when I tell you spaghetti was the right song to pick for that little recap
Oh,
reel.
I know.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'm so ready. I'm
I'm
ready
living for
for
this era of Beyonce content. I just can't wait for what the year has in store. It's going to be a great rollout this year. And it's like we
Nisha.
have
We're in
Sacred
Act Two.
simultaneously, so we're getting like Sacred content and Cowboy Carter content. It's just like I'm so well fed right now.
I am full. I'm stuffed, and
I'm full, amen.
I'm ready. Amen. A woman. So that was my
Correct.
highlight of the week, and uh, this full moon, like I know it's yours. So do you want to talk about it? You want to get into it?
Yes, so I'm getting back into my I don't want to say I'm getting back into my spirituality bag because that sounds like too jokey, but I'm actually serious. I'm actually feeling myself feeling more grounded, feeling more connected, just
Mm-hmm.
having more conversations with God daily, journaling, like all of that, spiritual routine, spiritual nourishment. I feel myself getting back to that. So immediately when I started getting back in the swing of that, I was like, oh, I gotta figure out when the next full moon is, new moon is. And lo and behold, That bad boy is tomorrow, and the full moon is in Scorpio Beach. So, yeah, it's gonna be a doozy. I'm sure a lot of you have already felt the effects of it, but it
Yes, I
promises to be
definitely
a
most
doozy.
definitely have. I felt
Mm-hmm.
the effects, but I'm proud because I know how to deal. I know how to
Yes.
prepare, and I know how to
Yes.
protect. I know how to self-preserve, and I know how to
Mm-hmm.
protect myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so yes,
That's
absolutely. So
ultimately
I
what healing is just like learning.
mhm,
Life will always life, so it's just learning how to deal with that in a healthy manner and not, and not crumble every time life falls apart because it tends to do that and it's ever
mhm.
changing.
And
And
life
yeah,
be life in.
it does. So we need to learn how to self-preserve, self-soothe, and all of the self things, and so
This
on and
is
so
maybe
forth.
TMI, but we're girlies. But
Yes.
I'm a full moon cycle girly.
You are. Mine fluctuates.
Yes.
I'm fresh off of mine. So yeah, and I already know when it's coming. Like especially like if you hit me with a cycle hangry
Mm.
fatigued combo. You know what I mean? Like everybody's
You're like,
ugly. Everybody needs to shut up. Don't talk to me. The moodiness, the hormones is because I feel like I'm a naturally moody person, but I can always
yeah.
tell when that PMDD is like really coming on.
Mm.
And when it's on the tail end, if it's like at the beginning or the tail end of some type of moon cycle, some type of intense moon cycle, it's just like, oh, that was, yeah, I felt that. Yeah.
And the way
Yeah,
my
that makes
body is like, oh, there's a full moon coming. Like, so
sense. The way it's just like rising inside of you. It's just like, oh, it's here. The
I'm
full
like,
moon is here.
I feel like I've like reached levels of like nature girlism where I'm just like the elements, the moon, my cycle, it's everything is in full like
Yeah.
synchronicity. It's
Yeah,
crazy. But yeah,
I call
happy
myself like
full
a very
moon.
hybrid nature girly. Like it's giving like SZA. Like I do want like a farm in the
Yes.
country, but I'm also like ratchet.
I'm like, man, put me in a mountain somewhere. Put me in the middle of a
No, for real. For
canyon.
real.
But happy full
So
moon, y'all.
yeah, happy full moon, peeps. One
Yeah.
great self-soothing thing that I got to indulge in over the weekend was I got to partake in some of Chef Caleb's cooking. If y'all don't know Chef Caleb, that is my roommate. So yes, be jealous. And he made shrimp and grits for the first time. We wanted to have brunch. We wanted to
Yes.
have like a little brunch weekend with some friends. And at home, we were thinking originally we would go out, but then we were like, oh, like it'll probably be like more fun and honestly more cost effective. We just got together at somebody's place and just whipped something up. So Caleb's geeked. He goes immediately to TikTok and finds this great shrimp and grits recipe. Oh my
Mm.
gosh. Like, man, if you guys knew just how good the shrimp and grits was, like, you would be so mad jealous because it was just delectable. And yeah, we just had some shrimp and grits, had some mimosas, and it was a time.
Yes. And those are
It
probably the
was a
best
time.
brunches is when you make it yourself and it's at home.
Yeah, oh, of course. Of course. I mean, going out
Yes.
is cool too. Like, I'm definitely one who likes to dine out. I'm not in the kitchen too often myself. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's nothing better than a home cooked meal, and it's just so really cool to see the satisfaction cuz he's new to cooking. He barely just started, trying out cooking this year, living on his own and being fresh out of the military, that whole thing. So it's just great to see his reaction when, his face lights up when everybody enjoys his cooking. Like I'm
And he's so
enjoying
cute
that
because he'd be like, y'all,
experience.
he's like, it's good. Is it good? He'd be looking
Hmm.
at us when we eat. He'd be like,
Yeah, no, I honestly got beside myself. Like, you know how like you when you're like managing your reactions and you don't want to be too extra or too much. Like, no, I
yes.
literally ate that and I immediately was like, oh my God. I was like, this is amazing.
Aw, shout out to
So shout out to
Caleb.
Caleb. He cooks, he sings, he does it all. And I am grateful to have such a well-rounded roommate.
Yes.
I live for that.
Well,
Well,
speaking of living, we are living in a time where beef is everywhere. I don't know what is in the water.
The
I don't know
year
what is in
started
the
off
air.
with beef. The
Yeah,
year started
I
off
don't
with
know what
beef.
is happening. It's something. So I feel like somebody in the ether said, "Push the button, let off the missile. It's time." And then everybody
It's
and their
time.
mother was just like,
Right. Do, 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 do,
with the
do.
shit,
Like, yeah,
with the
literally.
shit. It's just like
Literally.
shooting shots. Everybody shooting shots. Everybody shooting their shot at somebody.
I always think of that meme with Krishan when she's on the red carpet, she's in her brace, she's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like everybody was coming with that energy. 2024 was
Gosh.
that energy. Like
Speaking of
everybody's super
Krishan,
gully, everybody is spilling the tea, everybody is taking the shots. Like it has just been like roundhouse after roundhouse after roundhouse. Started off with Nikki and Megan, you know, Ice Spice and Lotto, and now the guys are getting into the ring. Now
the
the guys
guys,
are
the
tossing
guy
their
said,
hat in the
"Oh,
ring.
hold on." The guy said,
Right,
hold on."
right.
The girls
The
are
guy
getting
said,
too
"Oh,
much
say
attention.
less."
No, the
Right.
guys
Kendrick
are
said,
like
"Say
they were
less."
jelly. I feel like the guys were jelly. They were
They
like,
were like,
the
"I
women
want
are getting way
in.
too much attention. The focus
I
needs
want
to be back
in."
on us. And so they just, I'm like, be yourselves. Let us have. They say
Let
y'all
us
making way
have
too much
something.
noise. So we need to
No, yeah. I'm tired of
we need
scrolling
to
through
start
my
a beef.
timeline and hearing you ain't even the fart. Like they're like, no, it's time to
Okay, so let's talk about it. So
All
I
right. So we
feel
have to
like,
start with the first one, which was
well,
Kendrick.
but see, I wanted to go right before that. Right
What was
before
right
that,
before
because
that?
we thought we had I thought I had a break from the beef,
Right.
because
Right.
that was the most lethal, nasty, low beef that we had heard from female rap from Nicki
Yes.
Minaj. Right before she goes on
Yes.
tour,
Yes. 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 And
she
to the
does
point
that
where it
she
calls
does
to
that thing.
question how far is too far. Cause sometimes it's like
Exactly.
when you're speaking on certain situations where someone literally could have died or you know what I mean? I'm just like, but some people feel like a rap beef is a rap beef and that's that.
Yeah.
Even with the Kendrick, Drake, J. Cole situation, J. Cole apologizing, that is a very controversial
So
move. Some
let's so
people
let's so
are
let's
like,
go so let's go step by step. So that's what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying. We went That was the most lethal that we had heard in 2024. Because
Yeah, that's
in the past, people died.
initially, yes.
Yes, we in the past people have
Initially, yes,
died
that
because
was
of
the most
beefs.
lethal.
So
Mhm.
back so go when we're thinking of the past, people have literally died because of rat beefs. And I
Yes,
think that
yes.
we haven't seen those type of beefs. So for 2024, for us to be like, everybody hold on to your seats, because whoa, Nikki, whoa,
Right,
relax.
right,
And so
right,
I thought we just had a break. And so now here comes Kendrick, J. Cole, and Dre.
right, right. And luckily, I guess I would say luckily there's not as far as, like, with Megan, there doesn't seem to be any gang affiliation or anything of that
Oh, thank
nature, so
goodness.
it's like right, so that was just able to luckily just kinda blow over. She was
Yeah.
just like, "Child by a child anyway," so
Yes. I'm
very,
preparing for
very much
the
she was just
hotties
like
tour.
this rollout wasn't even about a beef. A beef just happened to be, like, the cherry on top, but it's
Yeah.
really about me just reclamation of me, myself, my brand, my everything.
Which she
So
ate that.
yeah,
She ate that
she
down.
ate that. She ate that down.
Yes.
Thought we had a little break like you said, but, here comes K Dot, uh, with
Just
the
like
roundhouse.
Kung Fu
Motherfuck
Kenny came
the
with
big
with
3.
the chop.
It's just big me. Um,
Ah,
so and it's so seemingly out of nowhere to me personally because I'm just I feel like we to some degree know there's been like little tiffs, little back and
yeah.
forths. I've heard of like a Kendrick Drake situation before. Like I've heard, you know,
Yeah.
maybe they don't see eye to eye, they don't get along. I've heard of Kanye being in there. I've heard of, you know, I've heard of them having their little
Mhm.
tiffs and tats or whatever. So, but this just caught me so off guard. It's just I wasn't expecting, you know, just a beef to just drop into our laps out of the sky.
Mhm.
Um, J. Cole responds shortly after, and then shortly after responding, he apologizes.
Now,
You and I even had
did you have any thoughts about his response?
apology.
No, not his
I was
apology.
going
Not his
to
apology. His response
about
to Kendrick.
that it wasn't good. That was, and he knows that. He knows. And it was because it wasn't, what is the word I'm looking for? It just wasn't authentic. Like when you come in a rap beef, and I'm jumping ahead a little bit here because I feel like
Mm-hmm.
at least Drake, when he finally dropped his response, at least he focused on like the numbers, like he focused on stuff that was like actually factual. J. Cole just basically came out and said like you're whack, and we all know that's not true. Like we all know that Kendrick is not whack. His albums are great. His albums are masterpieces. He's one of the goats. We know that. So it's just like you have to actually come for something. You have to be able to stand on something that, is like an actual blow, because that's what makes it, when it comes to beef, like what makes it stick, if it's true, if it's something you can't deny. So him just coming out and just saying like everybody gassed up your last album, it's like, nah, that's not true.
Yeah, so that's why when you asked me about his apology, he didn't even, what is he apologizing for? I was like, he didn't even say nothing that warranted an apology to me, because I was like, you came out to his discography and we all knew that was not, we were just looking at you like, this is what you
Yeah, that was not the
so we
angle to
didn't even,
go.
I think we all was just like, oh God, who else? And then he apologized, and I was like, "What are you apologizing for? Like, okay, great that you apologize. We love you. Go back to center. Go back to, yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
realigning your chakras, because you are not about this life." Because Kenny said, "Okay, get up with me. Let's see if he's a problem." And J. Cole was like, "You know what? As a matter of fact, I do not want any problems. I'm just
Right,
gonna go
as a
back
matter,
over
and
here."
I just feel like that's a direction that he's heading in general. If you think about the song that he, like his most recent song that he came out with, that All My Life song, I feel like he's just trying to go into a more positive direction in general.
Yeah,
And to his point, he was saying that brought him back to a place where, it just brought him to a place where he doesn't want to be. He's moving in this direction that wasn't aligned with the direction that he wishes to move. I respect that. I
period.
can
And I
respect that.
respect it too. Be yourself. Because in the
Yes.
beginning of that apology, he was like, I was moving and shaking in a way that to me said, oh, this is about peer pressure. You let the people around you gas you up. Be yourself.
Yes, yes, yes.
Because when you're
I
when you're
agree.
doing something inauthentically, you regret it immediately.
Of
So
course
I'm so glad that
right. Of course it doesn't feel good. Yeah, it never feels right.
so I was like, get out. I was like, get out the way, because I know that Anita Maxine is gonna come with the petty Scorpio bullshit. So I was waiting for Kendrick to say that, because I'm not Kendrick. I'm like, Kendrick left it, put it on the floor, okay? And I was like,
Right.
any J Cole, okay, you out the way. Somebody has to say something, and I'm like, Drake's gonna be the one to do it. So I'm waiting, because he's
Right,
gonna give
right.
us
And I thought
classic.
Drake's verse
He's
was
gonna give
really
us
good. I thought it was good.
amazing. I said,
I
this
thought
is
he
this
I
is what we want.
what did he say?
I said it.
Drop and give me 50. He said, how you big stepping in a size 7 men's. I'm sorry. Wow.
Wow. And I just thought, I said, okay, this, now we're boxing, now we're ping
Right,
ponging,
right,
we're
right, right,
passing.
right.
I'm like,
Exactly.
the girls
And
are
and it's so hard
entertained.
because I love Drake and Kendrick. Not
Yeah,
equally. I would say Kendrick is obviously, more my favorite, but it's
obviously, yeah.
just, man, right, yes, obviously. But
Yeah.
Drake undeniably held his own, and
Yeah.
and he can stand on what he said, because it was like what he said wasn't necessarily like false. He didn't say anything. There were no falsehoods in the things that
There
he
was
were rapping about. He
and
stayed
and
he
it was
stayed in his lane,
funny, it was
and it was
witty,
funny. Yes.
and he gave us something to shake our ass to at the same time. So I'm just like, and I can
Another
listen to
beef
both.
track to add to the discography.
And I can listen to both and be entertained by both, and pray that, I'm like, whew, I
Yes.
don't think anybody's gonna die from this. Thank God. I'm like, nobody has to
Yes,
die. We're
yes,
all
which
just
is
entertained.
ultimately, and to
Which
me
is
that
great.
makes it better when you
Me
can take a shot
too.
that's like not below the belt, but it's still impactful. Like I appreciate that way more than someone who's gonna like just go for your jugular. Anybody could do that. Like anybody could go for the obvious thing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
Now speaking
I
of
thought I
jugular,
liked how the response was crafted. I appreciated that.
so
So yeah, but then
kudos to
and then
Kendrick
here comes
and Drake.
Kanye.
Oh, I didn't even listen to that. I said, Kanye, get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here.
That was
You're supposed to be
so
no, I didn't even listen. I didn't
that was
actually no.
so random. And my question was, I'm like, okay, do you feel entitled to like throw your hat in the ring because they
Please
use
don't.
like an interpolation of your song or something? Like, I'm like, what was the reason?
When he said some with a Sean John shirt on, I was like, it's too
Yeah.
get out of here. Get out, please. This is nobody asked for you. No shade. Respectfully. I love Kanye, but just no, this is leave this to the
Even Rick
anyways,
Ross,
but
wasn't Rick Ross like getting into it too? Like some of the
Nisha,
old heads started
now
hopping
we
in.
getting too deep. That's what I'm saying. Now we getting too deep because and then Kendrick said, I'm beefing with niggas that about to be 50. And I'm just like, exactly. Rick Ross, go sit down. Go sit down.
Oh wow.
Leave it to the youngest. So,
The
but
ageism is crazy. Yeah, so
I know, I know, I know. Because you know what? Because it's funny. Because when I went over to the Rick Ross and I see what he has to say, all he's doing is walking with his phone like an old head. White boy, this is good. This house and this house, white boy,
no,
and
he
BBL
man, Rick
drinking. I'm
Ross
like, go
always comes
sit,
off he always comes off very old head for
just
sure, for
go
sure.
sit
Like
down,
he always does
please.
old head. So I understand.
But speaking of jugular, Nisha. Speaking of
Yes. So
jugular,
no, so again, we think that we're getting we think the shenanigans have died down. But then here comes someone who's not even technically a rapper. When I tell you Christopher, what is this? Christopher Maurice Brown?
I don't know.
Child. And I only
CB,
know
aka
thank
Breezy.
you to the comment section. Thank you to the Chris Brown stands. Now I know this man's government name. Thank you.
Oh,
Um um yeah, that caught me from left field because first of all, what are y'all even arguing about? Second of all, you of all people, just some of the stuff that he said, I was like, you of all people. Like I immediately am like, you said that?
yeah, yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
eh. You know how we're all looking just like, ew. Mm. Ah,
I immediately
God
cringe.
damn
I
it.
know, and I know the overwhelming vast majority are saying that Chris has won this fight, but it's
No
like how
majority
we
was
were talking about
fighting.
before. Like, what lines are there any lines? Are there any boundary, or it's just rap beef?
This is why
Because
no,
for
because
you,
it's not just rap beef. Because not Drizzy, Breezy. I'm gonna call him Breezy because he stepped out of
Breezy.
his Chris Brown bag and he went into Breezy,
Yes, he went.
which is
He
his
went
like
to
rap.
Breezy. He
Yeah.
went to his
The
alter
only reason
ego.
why I paused because he said I'm dripped in red, and I'm just like, okay,
It
you don't
already
have.
gives gang affiliation.
And I'm like, that's where we stop. I'm like, that's where it doesn't have to be. This is entertainment. This is music. This is rap. Can you keep like we did not ask for this. We did not want
Yeah,
this. We do not. And then
yeah,
you're gonna talk about somebody's passed on love. Well, Nicki
yeah.
Minaj said it, but
Yes, which is why we said that it speaks to that. It's the same thing. Like there are just certain lines that shouldn't be crossed. I don't think that the pedophilia, like the alluding to your husband's pedophilia and lying on your dead mama, those are two.
oh, well,
One is technically true, and then the other is just you being petty and saying something way out of pocket. So it's the same thing with this Chris Brown situation. It's just like so many like out of pocket things, like left and right, left and right. It was just like full, like I couldn't even like I couldn't even freaking
keep
clutch
up,
my pearls
really.
because it was just like left and right, and it's like they wish you was dead, and you beating girls in
Instead,
the elevator, and and pyro and blood and oh god, oh my
like
word, oh
this
my
is too
word,
much. I was like, this is too much. Did nobody ask for this? And if for it to be over the girls, I'm just like, City Girls up
over
10,000.
girls, bro.
City Girls up 10,000 because y'all still talking about women that y'all not even with. City Girls up, and I'm just like, get nobody asked for this. And so Quavo did
Quavo.
respond, but I didn't. I was just like,
Unpopular
I'm
opinion, I
not
feel
going.
like they're about tied. I based on the verses I heard, I feel like they about tied. um Yeah, but
I don't know.
overwhelming majority is Chris Brown won. I feel like Chris Brown was out of pocket, and based on bar for bar, verse for verse, and having a little feature. Let me put some respect. Having your man's feature on your disc. I feel like they're about tied, but that is a very unpopular opinion. So
Oh, okay, because he did put
he put an offset
on
on
the. I
it.
didn't even
So
listen to it. Okay, oh, so
mhm.
should I listen to
Yeah, the
it?
stomp the yard line was. I was like, okay, that got it.
Okay, okay, all right.
He was like something about the end of Stomp the Yard. You know how the Stomp the Yard ended for you, or something like that. He said. I was like, okay, okay.
All right,
I was like, that got
okay,
it.
okay. But the way I was just like, you know what? I'm going to protect my spirit from this, and I Homer Simpson into the bush gift. I
Listen,
was
I
like,
live in the
I'm not
house
coming back from this.
with a Gen Zer, so I just end up, getting all the
The
tea.
oddity,
Yep, I am Gen Zer adjacent, so I just end up stumbling on all the tea.
man. So I don't know if we have any more rap beefs after that. Who else is
No,
beefing?
that was the most recent. And it just got, again, similar to the beginning of the year. I would even venture to say it's gotten a little more out of pocket because both of these individuals are known for gang affiliation, criminal
Yeah.
activity. So that's when it starts to get a little too serious, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
you're saying fighting words because even me as a person, someone who doesn't aspire to violence or gang affiliation or anything like that. It's like, you say those things to me, I'm pulling up on you. Because
We
those are
have
fighting words.
to.
We have to
Now it's
pull
the
up on you.
streets, and we got to. Yeah, and I'm just like,
Bump a beef, bump a verse. I'm pulling up on you. Are you joking?
period. And I'm like, we do not need this, guys. It's an election
Right.
year. Let's focus and vote.
Right, right. And
So
I did have a discussion about this. Is it because it's so like back to back to back and like, all of the things, it's like it gives distraction. It does you can't help but think that deep down like it's all part of a ploy. It's all part of this like overarching plan to distract the masses from more important things that are going on, such as, yes, this very important election that we have coming up.
mhm,
So get it together, people.
get it together.
Focus.
And I'm like, everybody beefing with some Taylor Swift beefing with Kim, Beyonce beefing with Jolene. Um, who else is beefing? Trump is beefing with the judicial system because he wants to be in the race, but we trying to put him behind bars. It's a lot going on.
It is. And my whole thing, the fact that he is still a potential contender where there are literal states where he cannot run. Like some states are like, no, he will not be on our ballot. How are
Period.
you make it make sense? I
Okay.
don't understand. And I don't even want to get into it. Let's move on to lighter news.
Lighter news.
Let's move on to friendship. Breakups and the aftermath of such. So
Oh,
our
damn.
sister in podcast arms, Miss B Simone, has decided to try this again and just
Okay.
recently dropped her podcast, her new solo podcast. Yeah, that rollout was crazy. That
Proud
ad
of
was
her.
crazy.
Proud of her.
Did you
Proud of
see?
proud of being able to market because we've been taught. We've been marketing geniuses. But
Yes.
just to know. Sorry, I'm like I'm so tongue tied. But just to know that their friendship really did end. I was like, oh, because for some reason I
Yeah.
thought it was a
Yeah.
marketing. I thought it was a marketing ploy. I was like, y'all
Yeah.
just marketing trolls.
They
But no,
never
it is real.
they never give any direct statement comment. It's more so like alluded to. It's a thing that's very alluded to. So naturally, of course, I want to respect both ladies' privacy.
Yeah,
But I think that yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, wow, like we really just saw that play out like in live time, because it was no for sure, number one podcast, no for sure, and then it just suddenly wasn't. So it was like I think it just confirms everything that we already like felt had happened.
we
and
had
and I
we
feel
as
like
viewers, yeah. We
Yes, and
felt
immediately
something.
following that, you saw Megan nowhere near B. Simone's platform, anything. It just became automatically, almost instantly, very separate.
Yeah.
So, this is a
But shout out to
confirmation
the
of that.
girls. Shout out to Megan for keeping In Totality going, and then
Yes,
shout out to B Simone paving her own lane, because now
yes, yes.
listening to them individually, I
It
get
doesn't it make
more.
much more sense?
It
And this
does.
okay. Can we talk about this because because when we were listening to Know for Sure, I very early on I was a fan, but then very early on I could start to hear the conflict,
We heard
the
it. We saw
disalignment.
mhm,
It's two very different directions,
energies.
and it started to feel like very incohesive. It's like, and I eventually just stopped listening because it was causing, like, there was like conflict. You could feel the conflict. You don't necessarily can't pinpoint it on an exact
Hmm.
thing because you're not there, you don't know these people, but that was an energy that was so strongly felt very early on by me, and you kind of just started to see it slowly but surely like unfold. And I don't wish that for them. I don't wish that for anybody, because as someone who has had to go through her own friendship breakups, it's just hard to like witness that play out on, in front of the masses, and be able to
Yeah.
like just kind of point the differences, maybe even before they're able to realize it, because we're, on the outside looking in. So
Hmm.
I wish them both the best. I love both of their individual podcasts, and it
I
makes
do
much
too.
more sense now with them being separate. I
Yeah.
feel like Megan Ashley's brand is much more devoted to, God. It
A
is
spiritual walk.
a religious based podcasts. And
Yeah.
that was always the confusion with Know for Sure. Is like, is this a religious based podcast? Is this not? Is it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas now with B Simone's side, it's literally just her like commentary on her own personal experience, her own walk, her own journey, which feels more authentic to her. And it just felt like their messages didn't align when they were together. Unfortunately, it's so unfortunate, but it was just
Yeah. And
the
it's
fact of the matter,
okay.
and that's
Like, I
okay.
think a lot of us felt like you don't have to hold this together. Like, it
Yes,
is okay to be separate. Because I know that we both were like, Braylon just feels, we felt it. And I was just
yes,
like, we want a space where she can just be all of the goofy, good,
yes.
funny, crazy things
Because
that
I
she
could
did that we know is
exactly.
bottled up. And so
Exactly,
now
because
I
we
just
and
feel
I
like
could
she will
feel
get
that
to,
people pleasing energy on her. I could feel her not wanting to
yeah,
disappoint, you know, her counterpart. I could feel, now that she's speaking to that, I could feel that that's part of what I could feel from her. I could
yeah.
feel her trying to hold back, not be so, wacky, not be so what is it, forthcoming, so I don't want to say vulgar, because to me it's not vulgar. She's just being
It's
herself.
not vulgar, but it's,
But
yeah.
yeah, but it
being
just counters.
being self-contained because of how you want to come off to a more spiritual audience.
Yes.
Like, every like, I gotta watch my mouth, or I gotta watch what I say, or I gotta,
Yes,
ooh, I gotta
yes,
talk about that. I'm just like, oof. I just wish for her to be in a space where she doesn't have to worry about all those things. Like, we know your heart, we know your walk, we know your
yes,
journey. So
yes,
now you can let
yes,
loose, and you
and
can
be
take off
free, and
that
she feels,
mask.
and that's how she
Yes,
feels. She feels so free now,
she does.
and I love that for her.
And I love it for her. This is exciting. So now we get to have
It
both.
is.
We didn't have to lose. We didn't have to lose anybody. We get
We
both.
didn't lose, and now, yeah, now when you think about it, you don't have to lose. You didn't lose anything. If anything, you gained something. So
We
that's a
gained,
great way of
yes.
looking at it,
Seeing,
and we
regain,
can be
regain.
happy for
Yeah,
both of them. So kudos to both of them. We wish them the best in their podcast endeavors, as they are our podcast sisters. So we love y'all.
yeah. I don't
All
know them
right.
personally. I don't want to get
No, we
confused
don't
because
know
I'm
them
like,
personally, but we're fans. We're fans.
yeah,
We love y'all. We've been
yeah,
watching. We love your journey. We love your growth, and we are rooting for y'all.
absolutely.
Amen. A woman.
Um,
Amen.
a woman. Um,
All right,
what
girl.
was that? Was that? Oh, I said I was going to think of another, but I can't think of anything else that happened.
I'm ready to get into some lighthearted subject matter. We talked about
Some
we
team
talked
building.
about some intense topics. Let's get into some OCT reacts today. That
Some
sounds it
OC.
sounds
So,
feels like a good day for it.
part of team building today, we're going to react to some uh on the job videos that
Yes.
I've seen online, and it is the funniest, most hilarious
So
stuff.
I don't know how I don't really know how we're gonna accomplish this, but I'm gonna put mine up to my screen here, and I'm just gonna click on. We can go in order, and we can just click on them, try and click on them same time, and then react to them at the same time.
Okay. The one that I wanted you to click on first, Niche, is it's the fourth video where the girl's at the car wash.
Okay.
Do you see it?
Well, see, yeah, you've seen
Well, of course
you've
I've seen
seen
them.
them.
I've seen them because I had to save them. But sometimes I'll just be like, "Oh, I didn't see it," and then save it. So I haven't watched the whole
Oh, I
thing.
didn't see it right.
But these,
So it's really just mostly me reacting today, fresh.
and some of these I haven't seen in a
Because you're
while. But that one in
laughing.
particular,
You're already laughing.
that one in particular, I want your reaction because I want to know what you would do. What would you?
Okay. Okay.
Okay, ready?
All right. So you just let me know. I'm gonna click on it. Say 1, 2,
I'm
3.
gonna 1, 2, 3.
Click. Why did the person in the car throw at them?
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I'm gonna watch it one more
That
time.
was
Let's talk
super
about it.
rude.
Let's
Okay.
dissect. Let's talk about
Fir-
it.
First, and I'm like, why were you laughing? No, that was
Tell me why I
super
was
super
laughing.
rude. I probably would have responded the same exact way that the girl did. Okay, the fact that she did spray him in his car, that
And
is pretty funny.
the reason why I'm laughing is because the brain, we will go through, oh shit, I just did something on the job, so I'm gonna
Oh,
continue
I
to do my
know.
job. She kept
Yeah.
washing the car. She kept washing the car.
No, she immediately reacted, like immediately retaliation, but you're right. She did continue to do the job. Like, oh crap, I did just spray this
Instead of
man.
like reacting like this person just rolls. First of all, if you're in a car wash, why are you rolling your windows down?
Right, right. Well, he hadn't clearly he hadn't entered like the main car wash yet, but it's like I'm made of questions. Why did you throw that at her? Like that is so rude and disrespectful. Like what could she have possibly have done, said to make you do
Absolutely
that?
nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that was the whole funny part, is that you think that you're gonna do some clown shit. You gonna do that, and then think she's not gonna do that. I wish
Right.
you would have kept. I
Right.
wish she
Expect
would have
people to not
kept it.
retaliate just because they're at work. No, people are human beings. They have reactions just like anybody else.
The thing is, you're going. What this is what I like about this car wash is that they're giving a spray
Mhm.
down before you get to the actual car,
Mhm.
before you get to the actual,
Mhm.
mechanics of it all. So
I've
that
been to
is
car
such a
washes
good
like that.
deed.
Mhm.
I've never,
Mhm.
and so I'm like, let this girl do her. Oh, it's the disrespect. But I wish you,
The disrespect for real.
because poor baby, it's
I
the
know.
continuing to wet the car for me. It's the continuing to wet,
She did keep washing the
because I would have
car.
walked off. I would have walked off. I
No, I was
would have been like,
that more so offended me. I was very offended by
no.
that. Rude ass
So, but you
customers.
exactly, but you're gonna deal with these rude ass people. Now, the person, if you go in the comments, they
And
say
she
that
makes
the
like
reason,
this is probably in some country place. She probably makes like $10 an hour or something like
probably,
mhm.
probably, the person said that in the comments, they said, why would they roll their window down and do that? They said that they had their window cracked, so when she was
Mhm.
spraying it, water got in. You're going through a car wash. Why are
So they
your
got
windows
pissed
not rolled
off.
up?
Right. So they got pissed off about the water.
That is so
People are
stupid. That is so
remedial. I
stupid.
tell
It's
when I
it's
tell
so
you
dumb.
people are so remedial, like common sense is just not common at all. Like roll your window up, sir. Roll your window up. Like and then you got
Roll
the
your window
nerve to
up.
be mad at somebody doing their job. Like I'm sure that was not intentional. They probably didn't know you had your window cracked. Like get over it.
Duh. Ugh. So shout out to the girl
Moving
for
on.
being able to just spray in the car, because the car wash ruined. The car wash is ruined. You could
Right.
you think that you just just reminded me of the McDonald's one. Did I say the McDonald's one? The McDonald's one was the same energy.
Here you
I
go,
don't know if I say
references.
the
Yeah, I
McDonald's
don't.
one.
Okay, so are we watching
So
another
would you
one?
have done the same thing? Yes,
Yes. Oh,
absolutely.
yeah. Knowing me, my knee-jerk reaction would have been to spray him back for sure.
For sure.
I
So
choose,
sorry
I
to that young
choose,
lady. I hope that
I
that
choose
person got
violence
banned
on
for life.
impulse.
I hope that person got banned for life and they are not welcome
No,
back to that car
dead
wash. And
ass.
I hope that young lady got
Yes, I hope
promoted to
that
working at
her
the
her
register.
management, her team has a backbone and did not stand for
Mhm.
that and backed her.
Yeah,
I really hope that.
period. Um,
Period. What's next?
what's next? I want if you could scroll all the way down to the absolute first one. Only
All the
because
way
I don't know
down
what
to
all
the
these.
absolute first one.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be the last one?
Well, technically the
Oh, I
last
guess
one is
it's
the
the first saved. Okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, whenever.
Okay, ready? One, two, and three. This is why I can't work as a server. Ooh,
Oh. You actually showed me this one. I would want to go home. I would cry.
I would cry.
I would cry.
I would cry. Misha, have you ever worked as a server? Have you ever worked in restaurants?
No.
Me either. I have never worked in food. I have never worked in a bar.
No
I've never worked
shade
at a
or disrespect
restaurant.
to anybody who has been a host, a hostess, a waiter, waitress, chef, food and beverage. That is yeah, that's something else. I have been blessed to not have to experience the career field of food and beverage or retail.
I worked in
So
retail,
praise
not food
God.
and beverage.
Praise God.
I
Mhm.
worked in retail, but
Mhm.
never. I think food and beverage is the only job sector that I've never worked in because that's me. That's me on a daily. It's 6 plates. 6 plates. That means that
And
it's a
then
group of people.
you already know that you're gonna have to go back and like let the chefs know, and they're gonna be bitching, and then you got to let the customers know, and they're gonna be bitching. Like I just feel bad for her. I instantly feel bad for her. I don't envy her situation.
I think that I would have just went home. I wouldn't have talked to nobody. I wouldn't
You
have
wouldn't
talked to
let nobody
anybody.
what happened. You just would have went
Nope.
home and
Right
just
out the
not
door.
came back, expected to not have that job no more.
Exactly. That is my disassociative personality. Run away from the problem. Never return.
Yeah, and
Return.
it just I wish there was because is that a trash can? Was she sitting it on top of a
That is a
trash bin?
shoot. First of all, young lady, why are you
Right,
setting it on top of a trash can in the food in the first place? Six
right.
plates. That means it's a group of people. It's a whole.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
party. A peep. Your table's a party. I would have went home. I would have went home. Sorry to that lady. That food looked
I'm at
good
fault,
too.
but I'm going home. This is totally my fault. I fucked
Simone,
up, but
actually,
I'm going home.
keep my check. You can keep it. You
Right.
can keep my check.
Yeah,
Actually, I want
y'all
my
can
check. Keep my
have
tip.
that. Comp their food, keep my check, comp their food, I'm going home.
Going home.
I
Never
have
returning.
I have left the building. Mentally, I'm already home. I'm already home. I'm already home, hugging my dog and sobbing because I don't have a
it's,
job.
it's the defeat. It's the defeat. She's like, it's the defeat.
Right,
And she
the
places it
immediate
ever so gently, and then, and then just like, yeah, I would have went home.
been there. Okay, what's
So
girl, what's next?
that I was just gonna limit it to two. I didn't have any. You could choose whatever. Do you want to choose one? Because I don't. I haven't watched these in a while, so I don't know what's what. Maybe
Well,
the because this is another video surveillance. So one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. The eighth one.
the 8th one. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm
You see
ready
from
when
the
you are.
top? Okay, ready? One, two, three.
Oakland ATM theft.
Yeah. Oh Oh my God.
Is that? Wait.
I watched this a couple times.
So did they really like first of all, how did they get this thing, this bulldozer? I don't even know what that is. Some type of construction vehicle.
If somebody works in construction, that's his uncle's.
Not they Uncle Charisma. And then busted John Deere tractor. Who is I'm made of
Can we talk about?
questions.
I can Hold on. I gotta watch it from the beginning. Just imagine you working at a gas station.
You work
You
at a
working at a
freaking
gas
gas
station.
station, bro.
You're at a
And then you
you're
just
at
see
a
this
you're at a liquor
crane
store.
bust in the window, this crane arm. Like, I would, again, immediately, I'm going home. I don't want to do
I'm going home.
anything.
You can
I'm going home.
you can take whatever you want from this place. I don't work here no more. Nisha, I gotta watch this one more time.
Oh,
He's just sitting
Lord.
down on his phone. He's sitting on his phone as we do. He like, what the hell? What is going? And you just see this arm.
So it's like, okay, so it's just like a front window and all of that just to take an ATM. I feel like there must have been so many easier ways to do that.
There's so many ways to do this. There's so many
These are
ways.
just not smart people. And see, look, that's one of the business ventures I'm considering. I'm considering getting an ATM.
ATM?
Yeah, I want to get an ATM and put it somewhere,
The
but I
gag
don't
is
know.
the gag is ain't no money in it. There's no money in it. That's the gag. The gag is it's 12 o'clock and they emptied it for the day.
Right. Y'all just did all of that.
He said, my
Like, what are
uncle, he
y'all
said,
doing?
that is Oakland is a wild place. Oh,
So
it says
y'all really just
California Oakland gas station.
so y'all
And
really just pulled up on the gas station.
imagine being on pump number 6, getting gas, and you turn around, you say, what's that noise? What's going on back there? Go, oh.
Right.
Just somebody.
Have you ever
Pizza.
been in a situation where something popped off at work and you immediately like wanted to go home?
Me? Or are you asking the
Yes.
public?
No, you.
Oh, have we? Well,
I know the
yes.
immediate one.
Yes. Which one? Was I there?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Um,
All my worst
I
stories are
haven't.
like from earlier where I had shittier jobs. All my worst stories are from my earlier years.
All of mine, well, yes, it's happening directly to me, and I have to just
Mm,
deal with it. I can't just, so absolutely, I would like to, peace and
peace
disappear
out.
and just
There was
evaporate.
there was
But I have
I
to,
used to work at I used to be a desk clerk. This was one of my first, handful of jobs, probably one of my first 5 jobs. And I was a desk clerk at a low income housing apartment building in
oh,
downtown Los Angeles, like maybe a block away from the Staples Center. So it was literally like right
ooh,
on the cusp of like Skid Row and like the pretty part of
mm-hmm. I'm
downtown
like
LA. Like I was
DTLA.
literally right on the cusp.
Yeah.
So it'd be a lot of nefarious activity going on. And I worked graveyard. I was the graveyard girly. So
Oh,
so yes, there was a situation where this naked man broke into the building and hit this poor elderly woman that lived in the building, knocked her teeth out. Um, yeah, I immediately and I wanted to go home, but I was the one who had to call the police, log it. I had to do everything.
that's what you
So
got to
it
do
was a
when you night
lot.
audit. When you night audit, you're the manager, so you got to do
Yep.
all
Yep.
the
Yep.
things.
You're the manager, the babysitter, the janitor, like
Everybody.
yeah, you're everybody. So yeah, that was a lot because she came like strolling up. Uh,
Oh,
she came strolling up to the counter, just crying. She was like, "This naked man was jacking off at the promenade, and he punched me in the face." And I was like, "Oh my Lord, Lord, I just want to go home."
You like, well, they did not train
I
me
was
for
like,
this.
not a naked man in the promenade. I'm like, is he still there? And
God.
then when the police got there, there was this she had this neighbor. It was an elderly man. And the police got there and he was so mad that they took so long. He was like, "What the fuck is?" He was like, "What took y'all all so long to get here?" he,
Exactly, because by the time the
he
police
was
get
like,
here, it's already done.
you motherfuckers would be dead by the time y'all get here. What took y'all so long to get here?" And I'm sitting there just trying to keep my cool because it's like it's funny, but it's not funny. Like I'm one of those people who laughs at inappropriate times. So his reaction
Same.
to the police being so late is just cracking me up. But I have to sit there and like stifle the laughter and try so hard not to laugh. But yeah, that's
Oh,
the first thing that comes to mind when I think of a situation that popped off while I was there and I wanted to go home. I wanted to
girl.
go the F home.
My gosh. Just
Oh
recently at
man.
my job, there was a 5150 with a
Mm,
guest. So she had been staying there for about a month, I think, at this point. And I knew
mhm,
her. So I'm able, I understand that she had some type of mental illness. I don't know
mhm,
what degree it was, but I was able to be acquainted with her enough for her to trust me and know to
mhm.
not play no games with me. Ma'am,
Correct.
do not play no games with me because I peep
Correct.
you and I'm not going to engage in all that. And so one day, so she was my friend. She was like, okay, I'm not gonna fuck with you. I'm just gonna fuck with everybody else. And so but one night, she called the cops on herself, and they came and got her, and she had a whole episode in the lobby. And I'm just like, anyway,
At this place that I used to work at, this lady was attempting to reserve a room and check in. And she, you have to have like ID, credit card, that whole nine. She wanted to pay cash. So there's like this whole process when you want to pay cash, your ID needs we need a copy of your ID and
yeah,
like all this other stuff. For I forget the reason why we decided not to go through with like checking her in. I forget the reason. Um she starts flipping out because she's like, okay, well, if you're not going to give me a room, give me my paperwork. And when the paperwork she was referring to was the photocopy that we had to take of her ID. We did attempt to go through a whole check-in process with her, but it didn't, we weren't able to do it. So we just keep that on record. Like that's just for our records. But she just started whiling, give me my paperwork, give me my paperwork. And just started like hopping over the counter. Security had to be called and like literally like restricted. Like she literally had to be like restrained and like
oh
taken
my
out. Like, cause
gosh,
she started wiling out. Turns out she's like a whole fraud. Like she's a whole scammer. They found like all kind of fake IDs and like all kind of stuff on her person. Like,
dang. Well,
so,
she probably knew. She
yeah.
was like, damn, I'm not getting in here, so let me cause a scene. Oh my gosh. Well, this is all this to say, people have real jobs, and people be trying you on your job
Oh man, on a daily basis.
on a
On a
daily
daily
basis.
on a
So
daily
take care of
basis. So
yourself, because don't,
yes.
at the end of the day, don't, these jobs don't, they're gonna replace you
It is just a
in
job.
24 hours.
You are replaceable. So yeah, it's never as deep as you think it is. I understand people need their jobs, people need their work, but
Hmm.
I am very happy with the mentality that I have developed around work. I feel like I have a very healthy boundary around work and how much I will allow it to invade my life, affect my life,
Yeah,
disturb my peace.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, absolutely not.
So we're act to some other video some other time, but those are the three. We'll
Those
keep
are good
those,
ones.
and we'll tell more work uh gig chronicles later in some
Yes.
other
We have a very
some other
vast
episodes.
work. I know me personally, I have a very vast work history. So I have stories for days and I can't wait to get into more of that.
Same, same. And I think that, yeah, we both have not worked in restauranting, and I don't think I
Praise the
ever
Lord.
will.
And shout out to our coworkers in arms, our hosts
Yes,
and our waiters, our
our
bartenders,
servers. I don't play with that.
our
I
servers, yes,
triple
our
double
room
tip.
service attendants.
Mm-hmm.
there is a special place in heaven for y'all.
Absolutely.
Because I just know on a daily basis. Because certain
Oh,
industries, like it's hit or miss. Sometimes you'll have a bad day. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes, people will be acting an ass. Sometimes people will be cool and keep it cute. But I just feel like in food and beverage, it's a daily. Somebody's gonna have a problem
treacherous.
with something.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody. It's
It's
inevitable.
war. It's the
Yeah.
trenches.
The closest I've ever worked, the closest I've ever come to working in the food and beverage industry is that I used to work at a smoothie shop. I used to make smoothies. And even that, you would think it's smoothies. It's so easy. You would think that what could go
No.
wrong there? What could people possibly be mad about at a smoothie shop? Oh,
What's
they'll
really
find a reason. They will find a
so
reason.
pin that because we're gonna talk more gig chronicles. We're gonna give you our
Yes,
work stories and all the shenanigans that happen at the many of plethora of jobs that we have had in our past.
absolutely.
But Nisha, is there anything that you're
No,
watching, reading,
I
listening
think we
to?
what have I been? You know what? There was actually a really good book that I read for with my book club this recently. I'll go ahead and mention that. It's called The
Mhm.
Frozen River, and it's a historical fiction book, and it tells the story of a midwife in like the 1800s, and she kept a very detailed journal every single day
Mm.
of her, just a chronicle of her life, and the author was able to develop a story just based on her journal, her journaling, her life chronicle. And
Wow.
it's just a very empowering story for women. In particular, I feel like it's a very important read for women. It's very inspirational. It's very inspiring, especially given the time period that it takes place, where women didn't have a lot of rights. Women did not
Hmm.
have a lot of, agency over their life in general. So it's just a great story, a really inspirational read for that. The midwife is actually a real person. Her name is Martha Ballard. Her legacy is in the healthcare industry. Her descendants have gone on to be a part. Or I think they're founders of like American Red Cross and like that kind of stuff. So
Hmm. Oh
really
wow.
great read. If you're a book girly, The Frozen River, I highly recommend.
So read The Frozen River. I'm still
Hmm.
knee deep, head deep in Cowboy Carter.
I mean,
It
who
is
isn't?
still, yeah.
That is
I'm
a daily,
still playing
weekly
it,
listen in our household. So
discovering new things, still hearing new things, still just still
on
in
a
it.
on a daily basis, on a
Yeah,
whether it be like a fact, a educational fact about something, or
yeah.
just a riff or a run that I didn't hear the first time because she layers like no other.
We got a couple of
I was,
comments on our on one of our YouTube shorts that I wasn't even gonna address. Did you see it?
oh really? I did not see
You have to
this.
you have to go to YouTube, our YouTube shorts,
I will,
and
I will.
view the comments because I was
Listen,
like,
I'm the more
I'm not about to
controversial
do it.
commenter of the two. So if you see a comment and it came off a little spicy, it's probably me because
Yeah,
I
I was like,
am not
I'm not
afraid.
addressing this. I'm not responding to that.
And every now and again, I'll be in the mood to shenan again, and I become the clapback queen. So if you got a
So yeah,
little a
go
little spicy
go
comment back, it was
yeah.
probably me. So what?
Go see that comment. I do think that we should not respond to that, but I'm go see it. Tell me what you think offline, and then
I'll
we'll get
take a
into
look
that.
see. I'll take a little
Um,
look see.
it's
Well, if
still
there's nothing
April. We're at the
else,
end of April. We're at the end of April, so I just want to say,
hmm
it is still stress awareness month. So keep your stress levels down. Still keep taking care of
yes.
yourself because we are gearing up for the summer, baby, and it's about to get hot. It's about to get
Yo,
crazy. It's
yeah,
about to
summer's
get
finally here. So, take in this full moon energy, use it to let go of whatever is not serving you. And yeah, welcome May with open arms. I've been waiting for the sun. Tired of the rain, tired of the gloom. Bring in the sun.
mm-hmm. Yes. So we'll check
Everybody
out
loves
later.
the sunshine. Hey,
Mm, mm, mm,
boom, boom,
mm, mm, mm.
boom, 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 boom. Everybody loves the sunshine. All right, on that note.
On that note, peace, y'all.
Bye until next time.